Um, it's awesome. I mean, it's pretty cool. I've never been selected to any team, so I didn't expect it. So yeah, I'm happy. In a pretty good place. There's some it's a frustrating process, and you go through a lot mentally. Obviously, it could be a lot worse too, but and it's part of my job. But as a young player, that's something you gotta learn how to deal with an injury, and yeah, it's an experience I went through in the last couple weeks, and but I'm close to being past that, so I'm excited about that too. But I'm also cautious, just because I kind of value the time you're healthy more now than I did before. So I'm grateful for the experience in some way too. I mean, I just told Tommy like I don't really play for that stuff. Like I didn't even expect it wasn't really on my radar at all. So it's obviously it's rewarding, it's cool, but for me necessarily it's not something I wanted to accomplish in my life. It's obviously I enjoy it a lot, and it's cool to be honored in that way, and um, but that's not what I play for. First of all, I haven't played a minute since December 10th, so that's my goal to be healthy on the floor before uh, All Star break um, at some point, and everything else comes after that. But I don't think that's a game where you go in and set a goal for yourself. It's just have fun. And Coach Brooks said, "Win it," and I think that should be the goal. But for me, first of all, it's to get healthy again. Ooh, I haven't even thought about it. It used to bother me a lot in college when people say, "Yeah, overseas, man, that's like the second prize." NBA. When people talk about pros and then they say NBA, like it would piss me off because I come up from a pro team in Berlin, and I would consider those guys pros. Um, but I don't think now people are mature enough to understand that. I mean, 2 years ago the draft was full of Europeans, like 16 Europeans in the first round, something like that, or foreigners. So I don't think you should pay attention to that anymore. And obviously, I'm proud to be part of the world team. Obviously, yeah, we already said we're not gonna pass the ball. It's a two-man game only. So a lot of Wizards buckets. No, I'm just kidding. Well, obviously it's fun. Rui and I got close throughout this process. It's my first opportunity to play, kind of my first, kind of rookie year all over again, if you want to consider that. It's my first time playing in my life, and first time being hurt in the season, and he's going through the same thing. So it kind of brought us close, and to do that together with him is it's a cool experience. Oh, that was a weird, tough weekend, man. I'm not gonna lie. It hit me harder than I I can really describe, just because I mean I know so many people just by being in that organization for 1 year that are that don't only know him, they're very close to him, and yeah, that's some I don't really know how to talk about that, because stuff like that is always not only Kobe, also Gigi. Like I met her, um, the way she loved basketball with her teammates. Like I got the chance one time to watch a practice of the Mamba team, led by Kobe, and the way they passionate about something at such a young age, that's nothing to take for granted. Um, so it's just it's heartbreaking, and um, yeah, you gotta. Jay Williams said something on TV. You gotta. Life is precious. You gotta appreciate every second. And I called my loved ones and told them I love them, because you never know what happens. So it's been a weird week for sure. I did practice today, yes. As soon as I'm ready. I mean, if I tell you a date now, then so this is my thing. I'd rather surprise than underperform. So if I'll tell you a date now, I'm not out there, then you guys are disappointed, and I don't want that. So that's why I'm not gonna say a date. As soon as I'm ready, I'll be out there. And that takes time. And I haven't played since December 10th. There's a part of, yeah, you're healthy, and then you're mentally ready too. You got to trust your body. You can't think about it. It's two different things. Obviously, there's a certain urgency because we're playing for something, but I'm the way I got to know my body a little bit. I'm cautious and want to be ready to help the team. It is you gotta appreciate the small wins in life generally, and in rehab that's kind of something that sticks out, because man, like you take stuff like running for granted if you're in a boot or in a scooter for weeks. Like just simple stuff. When I first ran again or put two shoes on my feet, I was like, wow, this is so awesome. Like, and when you're playing healthy, you take that stuff for granted. So what John is saying, you kind of gotta realize that um, those small ones matter, and you can't take them for granted. And I think John, I mean, obviously going through a much larger rehab process than me, so he knows a little more about that. But it matters.